Who wants to start us off?
Injury update, please.
I don't have any.
Did Luka practice today or did KP practice?
Yeah, they practiced. They both practiced. They were good. Yeah, so update, they practiced. As you know, things change. People practice and sometimes are out, but they practice. So to answer your question, I can answer it better tomorrow to give you the truth.
They practiced as to be determined.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Was it full participation? Just so I can that.
Yeah, they participated. They were in there. I don't know. Full is what? What does that mean?
I just wanted to know if I should write full or partial or 33% or
They
whatever.
did most. They did everything.
Okay.
Everything they could.
Yeah.
You expect them to play tomorrow?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
To be determined.
I said, yeah. I think I will give a better. I give you the medical update. My speechwriter will give it to me, and I will read it. Tomorrow before the game. That's the truth. I'm not here to tell you guys any fibs. So they did practice. So we'll see how they feel tomorrow.
What do you miss by not having them out there? Game-wise.
Well, experience, the talent, the things that they bring to the table. Scoring, we can all look at just scoring, but I thought the group played, hard. Again, we outscored them in the second half. Things had to go perfect for us there at the end. They just didn't go perfect for us. But the intent was right. Guys were fighting. We were picking up full court. And those are the kind of things we talked about before we had practices. Sometimes we wait for situations to get out of hand before we respond instead of, can we be that, from the jump ball, picking up full court? If depth is one of our strengths, then we should be able to do that. And instead of waiting to be down 20 or 30, or being booed and then we respond because we're embarrassed. We don't have to wait to be embarrassed to play hard or to bring that energy.
What sort of problems do the Nets pose, particularly Durant and Harden?
Problems? Well, you talk about one of the, two of the best in the game, in Durant and Harden. They offensively can put the ball in the basket. They can shoot from anywhere on the floor. They've seen double teams, triple teams, and so they understand what they have to do with those type of defenses. You just try to make it tough on them and then make them work on the other end. You're talking about two of the best to do it, two future Hall of Famers. I would say they're both on that list of 75, so they're pretty good.
As we've been talking about defense and defensive mentality and all that, is there ways as a coaching staff that you can instill that or push that that mindset onto the players, either through the way you structure practice or the way that you plan or prep for games, meetings, etc.?
Yeah, I think one of the things we talked about is we held another team under 100 points. It's hard to do in this league. I think they scored 97, Memphis, so that gives you an opportunity to win when you can hold teams to under 100. And I think, guys in that locker room believe they can do it. It's just being consistent. It's one of the hardest things, and sometimes we are affected by our offense that if we believe a shot should have gone in, if it was a layup or a wide open three or just an open shot, that we sometimes get distracted or we feel bad that we didn't make that shot and it carries over to the next play.
Jason, as the leader and coach of this team, how do you approach stretches where right now this team's 2-7 in the last 9, and the messaging behind staying in it and staying focused even through a tough stretch? How do you approach these kinds of situations and how you address that with the team?
Yeah, it's if you take the micro, then you panic. It's not this. We don't look at things in the micro. This is the big picture. There's going to be stretches during the season where shots don't go in or you don't win ball games. But how do we get better? Take the positive, build from there, and that's we can always look at what our record is here of the past, but we're 11-11, and there's things that are clear cut. When we share the ball, we make shots, we're really good, and we defend. We take the transition points out, we're really good, and so those are the things that we have to talk about during the game if they start to slip. And that's just not the coaching staff, but that's player to player. And that's one of the steps that we're trying to get better at is guys talking to each other and listening. And that's hard to do when you haven't done that.
What's the spirit of this team been like in this last stretch of games and how they've continued to respond?
Yeah, I think it's actually been upbeat. It's been very positive. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of minutes to be played, a lot of games, a lot of shots, a lot of chances to play defense. And so we have to just be prepared, again, for tomorrow's game and just focus on that. And win or lose, did we get better? And like I said, the second half of the Memphis game, I believe we got better because we were on the brink of being embarrassed. And so hopefully we can change that from being embarrassed to like, this is how we play. This is our motto. This is who we are. And hopefully we can start that tomorrow.
How much do these back-to-back games impact whether or how much Luka or KP plays?
I don't know if we even got to that stage yet because there's always been an injury, unfortunately. So we haven't really had the opportunity to talk about back-to-backs because someone's always been out due to an injury. So hopefully somewhere in this stretch we get healthy, and then that will be a topic. But today that has not been a topic just due to the injuries.
What can you tell us about getting back into it after missing some time, and what was that like?
It was frustrating a little bit, you know. So it's always what you don't want, being unable to play because of an injury. So, but it's part of the process. So I guess so. We spend a lot of time taking care of that injury with the training staff and with the medical staff too, and we did good. So I'm happy just to be back on the court and be able to work out and work with my guys.
How did you hurt it, and did you know right when it happened that something's not right?
Yeah, so it was more progressively. I rolled my ankle during the game, and then, you know, when you compensate, your body tends to use some other parts more than others, so my calf really started to get injured, but now it's better, so I'm just blessed to be back on the court.
So you're coming back. This team obviously needs some shooting. How do you feel about, you know, where this team is and just collectively and why shots aren't going in?
I feel it's just basketball, you know. Basketball. Some days you're gonna be efficient shooting the ball. Some other days you're not gonna be. But you got to be able to maintain your work and your spirit because I feel like all it takes is one game where we're shooting the ball well, and we're gonna be willing again. So we're working on it every day on our shooting with each other. And on the team shooting, how we can get players better open shot, better shot situation. But main thing is keeping that confidence within our work and within everybody, knowing that we're able to do it. We've done it. We're working on it every day, and we're going to do it again.
What would you say this team's defensive identity is, and where it still needs to improve going forward, especially as you guys get ready to take on Brooklyn tomorrow?
Like you said, we improving every day with on that side of the court, finding an identity. You know, knowing that we can maintain high intensity during 48 minutes, no matter what happened on the other side of the court. I think that's where we grew, especially 2 nights ago. Even if we seen the loss, we knew how to maintain and just keep on playing hard. We didn't quit in this game, so I feel like, you know, that's growth. Even if we lost the game, that's growth, and that's what's going to help us moving forward and get better in the next few games.
What's the biggest challenge of taking on a team that features playmakers like specifically James Harden and what he brings to the floor every single night?
It is a challenge. We got multiple playmakers with talent in this opposite team, but I feel like we face different talents on, every game. So it's the best league in the world. You're gonna face, of course, the best player in the world, and we excited about this challenge, and we're getting ready every day for it.
Have you had a leg injury, a muscle leg injury like that before?
Yeah, of course, everybody had in the past.
Right.
But, you know, it's part of the process, and like I said, you got to be able to maintain.
Yeah. Do rehabs like that when you have to go back through the rehab process? Does it help that you've kind of gone through processes like that before?
Yeah. With along with career, you get to know your body. You get to know also those stuff, injuries. They're not easy to deal with, but it's not comfortable to deal with an injury. But you get used to it, and take it day by day. Do everything you can to make the most out of the day, and apply every day.
Right.
Everyone good in here? Cool. We got one on Zoom. Ian, go ahead.
Hey Frank, over the last 10 games, you guys are 3-7. You were unavailable for a good stretch of that. But from your vantage point, outside of just the shooting, what do you think it is that you guys can improve on as a team, where you guys can start winning some of these games that were kind of up for grabs?
Excuse, can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I was just asking, from your vantage point, you guys are 3-7 over the last 10 games. Outside of just the shooting, what is it that you feel you guys can improve on so that you can win some of these games that were up for grabs?
I think it goes with the shooting, what we said earlier with maintaining that defensive intensity and awareness, and also what we talked about in creating open shots and good situation for our teammates, driving the ball, put the other team in a scramble, in a blender, like we call it, but driving kick, multiple driving kick, and or getting open shots. So we working on it every day. Those 3 points, shooting, defensive awareness and intensity during 48, and just playing basketball, playing together.
That'll do it. Thanks, Frank.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you, man.